This is one of those films that I didn't hear about going into this summer. However, when I heard about it, I was really looking forward to it. Because when I first saw the previews for this film, I was laughing my ass off. It looked really entertaining. After seeing this film, I can say that this is a pretty good movie. However, it is not without its flaws. The plot of this film follows 9 German Americans, along with their leader, who is played by Brad Pitt, and they are going throughout Nazi-occupied France and killing off as many Nazis as they can. And in its purest form, that's all this film really does. However, this is where the biggest problem of this film comes in. There are multiple side plots going on in this film, and while they're not bad, it's just so much for the viewer to take in. There's one story about this Jewish girl who escapes being executed with her Jewish family. Then there's another side story about this German officer called the Jew Hunter. Then there's another side story with a German actress who happens to be a double agent. Then there's another side story with this British officer who's being deployed into France. And there's just all this stuff going on in this film. Now eventually all the plots meet up as one, and the way they sync is actually very entertaining, but for a while there's just so many plots going back and forth that it's hard to tell which one you should be focused on. And obviously the main plot should be the Bastards plot, however, they're rarely on screen, which is kind of upsetting for me, because during those scenes when you see the Bastards on screen, this movie is so much fun, and I was having such a good time with it. But when the Bastards aren't on screen, the movie just drags on. And let me tell you, 85% of this film is just talking, talking, talking. There are several scenes in this film when you can tell that the filmmakers are trying to create dramatic tension, and it is working to an extent, but these scenes just drag on, and this is a very long film. This movie runs for a little over 2.5 hours, which I certainly wasn't expecting. Now, as soon as that talking stops, this film really is good. I was impressed by every member of the cast, and the action and the cinematography are all brilliant. And I couldn't help but laugh at every time Brad Pitt talked, because his accent is so ridiculous, and it's nothing we've ever heard out of Brad Pitt before. We're into one thing and one thing only: killing Nazis. We ain't in the prisoner-taking business. We're in the killing Nazi business. And let me tell you, business is a booming. I have never heard Brad Pitt talk like that before, but let me tell you, it was so much fun to watch, and I was cracking up whenever the Bastards were on screen. But again, that is the major drawback of this film. A movie which is supposed to be about the Inglourious Bastards is hardly about the Inglourious Bastards. It's all about these other side plots. And again, while the side plots are bad, I want to see more of the Bastards. So this film could have been great if it just did a couple of things. Give more screen time to Brad Pitt, Eli Roth, and every member of that Bastard cast, and get them on screen and let them have fun. Because trust me, these guys were having fun with this movie. Second, cut out about 20 minutes worth of the dialogue in this film. And don't get me wrong, the dialogue in this film is great, but there is just so much of it. And there could have been easily 30 minutes of dialogue cut from this film, because it just drags on and on. Had the film done those two things, this could have been one of the greatest films to come out this year. However, because it didn't do that, I have to deduct a few points off of this film. But this was still a great time at the movies. So, final rating. While I did have a very good time with the majority of this film, I wasn't expecting talking the entire time. As I said before, if this film had been just about the Bastards, and not so much about all these side plots going on, this movie could have very well been phenomenal. But because there is so much going on, and because this movie is drug on for so long, I can't give it the high rating I wanted to. And trust me, I want to give this movie a high rating. I did enjoy it the majority of the time. But there are several parts in this film that are just so dull that I can't give it the high rating I want to. So I'm going to give this movie 3.5 stars. Anyone who is a Quentin Tarantino fan is guaranteed to love this film, because this film is pretty much pure Tarantino. And if nothing else, this is a pretty good film to end the summer with. It has some great action scenes, it has some very good dialogue, even though there is a lot of it, and the cinematography is beautiful. And if nothing else, I know that this film is going to create a spree of new Hitler videos on YouTube. I'm sure some of you out there have seen the videos from the movie Downfall, which is about Hitler's last 2 weeks in his bunker in Berlin. And there is a rant that Hitler does in that movie that everyone likes to edit and repost on YouTube. Well, I guarantee there is going to be a spree of Hitler jokes from the stuff he does in this film. Excuse me, Mein Führer, we're going out to get some Powerball tickets. What numbers would you like? 9999999. I don't think they'll accept that, but okay.
Mein Führer, I'm sorry. What is your home address in Berlin?
9999999.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Excuse me, sir. What's 88,888 plus 11,111?
99999.
Ah, thank you. So, take care.